Hello, it's Sara Oehler here at Softflex Company, and I'm super excited today because we're doing a design challenge with a company called Stateside Bead Supply. Now, Stateside Bead Supply carries some Softflex product, which we love, of course, but they carry a wide assortment of other items as well. So I will be opening a package from them today, and I'm just cutting out a little coupon banner that I'm gonna put on here for you that has a coupon code for them. I'm gonna be opening a package today. Here it is. We're gonna see what's inside, take a look, and then we're gonna make something with it. So I'm super excited to talk about this company today, and hopefully you get an opportunity to get to know them a little bit better. I linked to them in the name of this video, so you can check that out and click through and like their Facebook page. They also have great YouTube tutorials. I know how much you guys like videos, so definitely look them up on YouTube as well. And then I noticed they have Instagram and Twitter and all those fun different social media sites. So somebody said something about my necklace. This particular necklace came from Tucson, and it's some African amber that I got at the African, what do they call that? It's like the African village in Tucson. And then this was from a design challenge a while back. I feel like it was like blue door beads maybe where we made that one. So you can look that one up if you like that necklace too. But I'm going to flip you guys down. We're going to talk about a few things that I've been making. Hi everybody, so glad to see you. We're going to talk about a few things that I've been making, and then we're going to open up our box when everybody gets here and see what Stateside sent me. Now you can see I printed out a coupon code. This is actually their standard coupon code for all first orders. You'll find it right on their website. So I printed that out because I know a lot of you, this company is probably going to be brand new for you, and I wanted to make sure that you got a chance to use that code, but it does have to be on your first order rather than subsequent orders. Okay, here we are. All right, sorry. Don't touch your phone, Sarah. Okay, so I've been making a few things, and you've probably seen them. I've been posting them here on Facebook, pictures of them, and then also on our Instagram page. If you haven't joined our Instagram page, I hope you'll join it because I'm planning on posting a lot more often there. These particular earrings I love. I've had these little watermelon slices that I bought from the Softflex gallery for a long time, and they've just been sort of sitting and marinating, and I finally pulled them out of my bag and actually made something. I used these guys here that are from Fusion Beads. They're Swarovski crystals. I used them in my demonstration at Bead and Button, so I had some extras. So I mixed those in with a Super Duo, and then of course I used our Softflex 24K beading wire, which I think is just the most gorgeous of all the colors that we offer. So those were a fun little project that I did last week. I finished up my projects. I just need to put a clasp on them from Bead and Button. This is what I was demonstrating at the Bead and Button show, and I had a full demonstration piece, which I know I've shown you guys before, but these were the ones that I was actually doing there on the show floor. I just need to put a clasp. I haven't quite gotten to the clasp. And then this was the actual finished piece that I showed, so you can see what the difference a color is going to make, you know, in the variety of designs. And by far, most people voted that they love this color combination, which didn't really surprise me. There's a couple reasons why I think this is special. First and foremost, you can really see the sparkle in this growing crystal. It's a lot harder to see it on the black crystal, and I think that just grabs everybody's attention right from the beginning. But of course, this bone colored wire is just so elegant. I mean, I think bone doesn't get enough credit, really. I love using the bone colored wire because I think it just makes all these brighter colors, like the copper color and the beautiful crystals, just really stand out. And it sort of just plays a part in the background, which is really cool. So I finished those last week. I just need to get clasps, or I could just crimp the back. I just haven't decided how I want to finish them off yet. But I am going to do that soon. And then I also have this guy, which I had purchased at Bead and Button, which I think I showed you guys when I got back. They're just some lampwork beads, and then I added some little purples just to bring out that purple color a little bit better. I love it. Again, I use the bone, which mixes in with the beads really well, and I'm going to put a clasp on the back end of that as well when I get a chance. I did a lot of beading last week, and then the last set I did is I took the beautiful key that I got from Green Girl Studios, and I added some of the Gollum Studio beads to it, and then I just used our 24 karat gold for a long necklace and made a couple of really simple earrings. So just a few things that I've been working on. I love, love, love seeing what you're working on. So if you haven't already, go to our VIB Softflex group and join, and you can post pictures of your work there, and it's just a lovely community of people that are all using Softflex in a variety of ways, posting just beautiful pictures of things that they're making. So definitely go join. It's where I'm going to post pictures of what I make today at the end of the show as well. So definitely go join our Facebook group. Let me find my scissors. So here's today's box from Stateside Bead Supply. Now these guys have been so super patient, you guys. I had them scheduled for one day and I ended up missing it, and then the second time they were scheduled was the day that the fire broke out next door, and I was messaging them. I felt awful that I had to might have to evacuate, and then I did have to actually evacuate. So I've had this box for what feels like forever, and they've been so sweet and patient with me. And I'm glad that I get to open it today. So I'm just going to tug this open and pull out what we have here. Let's see what we have. Oh, and don't forget, we're having a live sale tomorrow. I think they picked like 265 items, but I vetoed that many items, so I'm going to do as many as I can, but we'll see how it all ends up turning out. So they have some good information here about them, which is great. We'll definitely read that over. And it looks like they sent us a kit. Oh, interesting. So they must do some full kits on their website. Let's see what this is exactly. So when you open it up, oh, look at that, beautiful. Very nice. So I assume this is what you would get, and I don't know if they're here yet. This is what you would get if you ordered a kit from their website. You'd get these big full color pictures of what you're making. And then a list. This is called the Labyrinth Y necklace. So you can probably order the same kit. Start by stringing, and it has all the instructions and the finishing. Wow, all the way to the pendant. Look at that. Very cool. So this is very interesting because I am probably going to make something different than what they made. But you can buy this and make this exact same design. And maybe I'll make something kind of similar. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we've got these beautiful gemstone beads. These are impression jasper 4x13 rectangles. I am such a rebel. I know. Well, I can't imagine a video would be very interesting if I just followed instructions, and I'm really not very good with instructions anyway. I'm better at writing them than I am at. I'm better at giving them. I'm sure people around here would. At least I like giving them better than I like taking them. I'm sure people around here would agree. Look at these cool. So these are tiara cast pieces. You know I'm a big fan of tiara cast. We've got 3 pieces in here. It looks like we've got a feather, a spiral hand, and then this looks like a labyrinth. Look at that cool piece. Oh, I think that, is that Elaine? L? Are you Elaine? She says we supply a few kits for making jewelry and have a YouTube video guide you through the process. Ooh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I was saying at the top of the show that you guys have a really fantastic YouTube station and that everybody should go take a look at that for sure. That's really awesome. So you guys can actually buy the kit, and then there's a YouTube video that goes with the kit that would actually walk you through the whole thing. Very cool. So I'm thinking about doing a bracelet. It's kind of where my brain's at. I think this could make like a really cool bracelet. I feel a little bit like doing some of the super duos. So let me see what I have in my magic bag over here. Okay, Stateside says we supply YouTube video to go with every kit. That's awesome. That's really helpful for anybody who's just starting out and just learning. These copper super duos will be perfect with this. And just so you know, Stateside Bead Supply is a family-owned and operated business. Tim and Elaine started this online jewelry supply store in 2005. Combining their 45 years of experience in working in the jewelry industry to help designers, crafters, and do-it-yourselfers make the jewelry of their dreams. So this is a mom and pop shop, and I didn't catch where they're located. Maybe they can give us a little more information on that. But I think they're only online, and like I said, if you're brand new to them, there's a great coupon code right on their homepage, Rainbow521, where you can get 10% off your order. I don't make bracelets very often lately, so I'm kind of excited by the idea of making a bracelet. Let me get all these guys off of here. I'm curious to see how these will lay with the super duo, if it'll work or not. The super duo might not quite be wide enough, but we'll find out just like we always do, right guys? Okay, so I'm going to use the copper, or maybe I'll use the bone, since I was just going on and on about how great the bone is. It would probably look really dreamy with this project. So let's get a little bit of bone soft flex out. Stateside does carry some soft flex beading wire, so you can get 10% off of it if you're using that first order coupon. I don't know that they have the bone, but they do have all of our like basic original product. Okay. Nice. So I don't see a clasp. Oh, there it is. There's a little toggle clasp. Perfect. Nice. I'm probably going to do like a double up here. You want to get enough wire. And of course, I can be really generous with my wire because I've got so much wire. So if you're doing this at home, you can always use a little bit less than I do. And I'm also on live video, so I try to be really generous with what I do so that I don't end up not having enough and being able to finish the design. All right, got my crimps. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna take this bone soft flex. I'm using the medium 019, which is the most commonly used diameter of soft flex. It's all-purpose glass, mineral, and metal beads. It's perfect for a project like this where you've got some metal, some glass, and then you've got some stone. You want at least a medium in this case. You could even go heavy if you wanted to, but that, you know, you don't have to. Okay, so I've got my wire, and I'm going to use one of our soft flex crimp tubes. This is a 2 by 2 millimeter soft flex crimp tube, and I'm using a copper colored crimp. So it's going to match some of the copper findings that are here, which I think will be really fun. And I'm actually going to string into the clasp. I'm going to center the clasp to the middle of the wire, and then I'm going to go back through my crimp tube again. Now, soft flex crimp tubes are a lot thicker and stronger than most, and it is important, imperative even, to have a good quality crimp tube if you want to have a project that's going to last a long time. So make sure you're always using good quality crimps. I see that they're providing crimps here, and they look very good. They look like they have a big, strong wall on them. You can usually tell if you're really familiar with crimps by just looking down the barrel of the crimp at the wall, how good a crimp is. And this looks like a very good quality crimp. And they have some big crimp covers here too, 4 millimeter crimp covers. Okay, so I've narrowed it down or closed it down onto the toggle clasp. And now I'm just going to try to get those wires as close side by side as I can, and make sure that they're running through there nice and even. This is especially important when you have like a dainty connection like this is, or an ear wire, because if they crisscross, it will sort of pull to the side and it just won't look nearly as nice. So try to get those nice and straight. I'm going to use these magical crimpers, which most of you have seen me use about a zillion times, but I'll go over it for anybody that's new and just joining us. These crimping pliers have a little half dome on either side, and the crimp tube fits inside them just perfectly. So you're going to center in that crimp tube inside the pliers and compress, and then you're going to, and if you did it right, you'll get 4 little corners. You can kind of see them here. And you're going to go in the opposite direction. And then just go around and around, just slightly turning and compressing the whole way around that crimp tube. Okay, so we've got our clasp and our 2 wires. I'm going to kind of move this stuff to the side so we can see better and play around with it now and decide exactly what it is that we want to do. I need to get a few super duos out too. I really should probably use some of my soft flex dishes here so I keep everything a little better organized. Okay. So I'm going to string on one of these super duos. Ooh, we have some cool crystals down here to use too. I'm going to string on one of these cool super duos. And super duos, if you've never seen them before, are beads with 2 holes. I really fell in love with them when I wrote my latest book, Seed Bead Revolution. We use a lot of super duos in there for reasons just like this, because it's really fun to split the wire. You can see the color of wire, so it makes it stand out a little bit, but it also, it's sort of like a spacer bar in many ways, which is really cool. Hey Susie, I used to live in Arizona. Welcome. I just moved to California recently. Okay, so now we're going to kind of play around. I've got to see how these will work side by side, they may work well and they may not work well because it's a little bit, they're a little wide. But I'm curious to see what it'll be like. You never know until you try. And then if I were to do another super duo, would I like that? I don't feel like I would like that. I wonder if 2 wires will fit through 1 bead. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, these are drilled really nicely, you guys. 2 mediums. 2 mediums fit through, and then you can get that fun pattern started with the super duo. And we have these cool things too that were in the kit. These kind of bar guys. And I don't want to forget, we have this interesting thing. I was looking at this that I could maybe connect on the other end. That might be kind of something to think about as well. Okay, so what do we want to do? Do we want to do like an asymmetrical and sort of change it up a little bit? Or, ooh, we could do these guys too, are kind of cool. We could take both wires through these copper spacers and then through the gemstone bead, which I'm forgetting what the gemstone bead was even called. Oh, impression jasper. Ooh, I like that even better. I'll put one on either side. Hi, Jenny. Hey, Sharon. Nice to see you guys. Go. Add a little bit of that in. Why don't we do a super duo and then try maybe a crystal? I'm not sure how this will work with the crystals, so we'll have to kind of play around with that to see what's going to work there. That's half the fun though. Figuring out what does or doesn't work. I unboxed from Stateside Bead Supply.com, and this is a coupon code if you've never ordered from them before that you can use on their website, and they have a lot of different products. I was on there earlier today just sort of looking around, and not only do they have soft flex and kits like this that have YouTube support, they also have tons of really cool stuff. Like magnetic beads really jumped out at me, and gemstones, and just all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, I forgot I was going to try the crystal. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I don't think 019 would fit through this small of a crystal twice. No. But what we can do is do one on each wire and see what that looks like. That's sometimes fun. Or we can do one in each color on each wire. Let's try that. Do something like this and see how we like it. And if we don't, we'll just keep on going. So these little O-rings are pretty sweet. This little copper O-ring guys, I like them. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I've got my clasp, my crimp, my super duo, one of the little copper O-rings, the impression jasper, the copper O-ring, a super duo, and then I was going to change it up and do a copper O-ring and some of the crystals. And this is kind of what this will end up looking like. Are we liking it? I think it's kind of cool. So for those of you that have just joined us, this is what the kit was actually created for, was this particular design here, which is really a neat design. If you look at it, it's got, I'm so curious. Oh, this is a jump ring down here. and it goes up all the way, and then it has, oh, I see, so it must split. Like this comes down the center, and then it splits into sort of a Y-shaped necklace. Very cool. So we've got that. We've got kind of the end here figured out. And I definitely think we'll hang, like these guys can hang so easily off of here too. So we're gonna take one of these big jump rings, and I'm trying to see how they did that, but I'm gonna take a big jump ring, and I think what they've done, which I will go ahead and mimic, is they actually took one of the little jump rings, and of course I'm just using my hands. You probably could be more professional and use a chain nose plier when you're opening a jump ring. I like to use the tip of my crimping pliers often to open a jump ring because it's flat on the tip and it can hold on to things really easily, and they're always handy. But then you just take a second pair of chain nose pliers and you can very easily open it up and slide whatever you want inside. I know these blue-green beads here are beautiful impression jasper. I love the shape of them. They're a really beautiful shape. Okay, so I'm gonna attach onto one end. They already made this beautiful piece, so I wanna go ahead and use that in the design that I'm making that's different. And I'm gonna close that up. You wanna get it as closed up as possible so that the two sides meet each other, because you don't want this to pull out of there. And same thing with the other side, but on the other side I'm gonna hang this charm. We'll see if this dangles a little too far. Might be a little too much on a bracelet, but we'll see. Closing it up. So basically I just attached, they already had this beautiful link made inside the kit, and I just attached this from the bottom. And I'm gonna slide this onto my big jump ring. It might be a little long. Thinking about it, it might be a little long, but I could attach this as the second part of the, on the second side. That'd be kind of interesting. Let's leave that for a second and come back to it. Because I'm thinking, well, we can go ahead and put this on here just so we don't lose these guys. So I'm just going to put the charms on. I'm thinking about how this could become part of the bracelet itself. I'm thinking it could be kind of cool. I'm actually going to put this on here. So I'm going to attach on that end, I think. Okay, so still thinking to myself, I added the second half of the toggle clasp to this jump ring. Because what I'm thinking I'm going to do, if it's possible, is I'm going to continue this pattern until I get to here, and then I'm going to attach here and let that be the last part of the bracelet, with this just kind of hanging off asymmetrically, and then I'll attach the clasp here. Does that make any sense? I hope so. Let's just do it and see how it goes here. So I've got my last little copper O bead. I'm going to go ahead and do a super duo bead now. And we'll do the same pattern for a little bit. See, Stateside says impression jasper is the 4x13 millimeter gemstone. We have 12 other stones in this shape. Ooh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. I think it's such a fun shape, this little rectangle shape. This is a beautiful color too. I mean, blue with turquoise colors in such a deep, beautiful color is always a winner for me. Okay, so I've got my next super duo. Now I'm going to do one of these copper O beads. Rochelle says, yes, Sarah, you are making. Oh no, are you guys still there? Oh good, it looked like you guys were gonna fade out on me, but it seems like it. Hopefully you're still there. Please somebody comment and tell me it's working. This Facebook thing, sometimes it's great and then every once in a while it will dump out and I have to start a new video. Oh, thank God, thank you. Okay, so it was just a blip for a second. I'm glad I'm starting to make sense to you, Rochelle. Yeah, it told me that I was gonna have to refresh or something, but it flipped right back on, so that's good. Okay, so I'm back to another Super Duo bead. I love these things. And then I'm going to do a copper O bead. Ooh, Charlene says things are looking good. I think so too. And again, for any of you that missed the beginning, this is actually the design that goes with this kit, and you can find it on statesidebeadsupply.com. And if you could tell, let's see, I think it's at the top of this instructions. The name of the kit is Labyrinth Y Necklace. Oh, it's right in the name. It's right in the name. I was trying to figure out what the shape was, but it's right in the name of the kit. So you can pick it up there. I did add the Super Duo beads myself, so those you will have to purchase separately. And then Bone Soft Flex also was added separately, but most of the products that I'm using here are from this particular kit, which is a beautiful kit. Lots of great stuff. We've got some beautiful crystals in it, some impression jasper, lots of copper pieces. Really pretty stuff. Okay, so I added my 2 crystals, similar pattern, and we're just gonna keep on going. So make sure you guys join the VIB Softflex group page, because that's where I will post my final picture of the design. And it's always a little bit easier. I mean, you can see it well in a video, but it's fun to see it in a picture as well. And that will always be there, so you can refer back to it if you want to make a similar design for yourself. I'm telling you, this bone-colored soft flex is the best. I swear it just looks so nice, especially when you're in a copper color. It just looks so nice. Every single time I use it, I'm kind of blown away by how pretty it is. Hey Carol, thanks for joining us. I also post pictures on Instagram, so that's another great spot. If you haven't joined our Instagram, I hope you will. Instagram's so nice because there's so many great photo opportunities when it comes to jewelry. I mean, it really is made for jewelry designers to use. I mean, it just really, there's so much pretty jewelry on Instagram to look at. I can get lost on there for hours. Okay, we're on to a super duo. We're getting closer and closer to being able to attach. I'd say I've got maybe one more set. Let's just do a quick measure. I've got maybe one more set. I might have to play around a little bit with the size, but we'll make it work, right? Super duo to the rescue. Hi, Sue. You're not lurking, you're always welcome. Sue posts all sorts of great stuff in our Facebook group. It's always fun to see what she's making. What is the name of the kit again? The kit was named Labyrinth Y Necklace, if that's what you meant. If it's the group you're thinking of, that's named the VIB Softflex group or something like that. And again, you can find all the products that I'm using for the most part on StatesideBeadSupply.com. That is unusual for you, Sue. But I'm glad that you decided to pipe up and say something. We do have a live sale coming tomorrow. I can't believe it, you guys. They picked 265 items, I think. I didn't know. I mean, I think the most we've had is like 195, and that almost killed me. It was like 3.5 hours. So I'm going to do as many as I can, but I told them that there's no way I can do 265 items and still have a voice at the end of the day. So I think we're going to whittle it down just a little bit. So I'm just going to do a quick measurement. I'm attaching, I think on this side, it doesn't look like it's quite big enough. So I'm going to do one more Prussian jasper. Oh no, there goes my pocketbook, Sue said. They picked some really great items, and it was hard because Mike actually picked them in color schemes. Beautiful color schemes. I'm going to try to post the pictures in the VIB group today. Beautiful color schemes. Rosa took quick snapshots of them. And so if we cut out a big section at the end, it's actually like a whole color scheme, which is kind of sad, but we'll show them in a future live sale, you know, eventually. It all comes back around eventually. Okay, I think that's probably as long as I want to go without getting it to be too long for my wrist. So I'm going to go ahead and take both wires. And again, look at how much extra I have. I was just being so liberal with my amount here. I'm going to take my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube and bring my crimp down to my beading. And then you're just going to take one wire and pass it through the jump ring here. And then only one wire will pass back into the crimp tube. And the reason for that mostly is that only 3 strands of medium fit inside a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. And so this is a really nice way to finish off a 2-strand design. It also looks nice on the where you're attaching, because you've only got one wire attaching, just like you only have one wire attaching at the other end. So it just sort of finishes it off really nicely. And speaking of looking at the other end, that's normally what I would do to sort of eye out the size of this loop. I want it to be similar to the size of this loop so that they look like they're supposed to be on the same design together. And before I do any crimping, I'm going to check the size and make sure that this does actually fit and work on my wrist. And this was my concern, was the clasp going to actually work like this? I might have to attach to this little one. It might make more sense. Let me open up my big guy and let go of these. And let's put them on the little one and see if that works a little better. It's such a small toggle. You've got to make sure that bar can actually get up and in there. It definitely can. I could put all of my charms right there. Actually, isn't too bad of an idea. That would help dramatically. Okay, now let's make sure that this fits and that it closes. Before you crimp, it's always good to check to make sure that it's going to fit. And this is going to fit me really snugly but nicely. It'll fit really nicely, especially when it has some dangles. You want to make sure. So now my question is, can I hang a dangle here? I just don't think so. I think what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and use this big ring here that I had before. I'll put both little dangles on it, and then I'll attach that where this maze is attached to that jump ring. And then I can just close that up. The ever-changing design, you never know. Close it up nice and tight, especially when you got little charms hanging from it. There you go, and we'll see how that feels. If that feels okay when I'm wearing it, then we'll keep it like that. If not, we can always open up this smaller ring and we can add those in there too, but I kind of like them being on a separate, a little thing. Oh, hey Mike. Mike Sherman's here. He's the owner of Softlex. Most of you know Mike. Okay, now I'm going to go into my crimp. Now that I know it's the right size, I feel good about it, I can go ahead and get my magical crimper going. I'm going to compress so I get my little 4-corner ravioli, and then I'm going to turn it on its side and compress again, and I'll go around it several times. So one of the neat things that Stateside said about themselves when I read their About Us is they're a family-owned business, but more importantly, Tim has worked in the wholesale retail bead industry for a long time, since 1988, and is incredibly knowledgeable about all things beads, and he's the creative force behind the website and the production. Now, Elaine's been designing jewelry since the early 90s and specializes in wire wrapping of gemstones with a recent interest in leather and the many beads from the store's collection. So you always have a winning company when you have two people at the top that have industry knowledge and actually do some design work themselves. You're going to find really good products on their website because of that, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my fun little bracelet. We got our charms here, hanging here. Cool. This is like my first asymmetrical guy in a while, which is kind of fun and exciting. So let me close it up so you can take one last look at this baby. It's a little tight on the jump ring, so it might need like a little bit of a smaller jump ring, but for the most part, I think it turned out really super cool. And I feel like there's still some cool stuff, like we could make a cool pair of earrings to go with it too, because you know I love a good set. My whole latest book, Seed Bead Revolution, Kristen and I did sets because I feel like very rarely do I wear just like a necklace. I usually like a necklace with some matching earrings, or a bracelet with matching earrings, or a bracelet and a necklace. So let's do a quick earring too. And so I'm going to need a copper ear wire. So I'm going to grab some of those out of my little stash over here. I feel like this antiqued copper would be the best. Got a couple little antique copper ear wires that we can use. Well, the colors Stateside picked out, I feel like this kit is just a really beautiful assortment. This reminds me a little bit of Santorini Dreams, the kit that we just did here at Softlex. I feel like it's got some really beautiful blues. Ooh, this little link. Ooh, that might help me with my little jump ring issue later. Okay, so let's do a couple earrings. We've got these cool guys too we could do in the earring. Might be kind of interesting. Let's see. What do we want to do? Why don't we do a healthy amount of bone wire again, because it's going to be a matching set of earrings. And I'm going to get one of my Softflex copper crimp tubes. It looks like they have good crimps in here, and I think they're great, but I definitely know my Softflex crimps are great, so I'm going to go for those. So I'm putting my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube onto my wire. I'll go back into my ear wire, which looks like it needs to be closed up just a little bit. It's just a little open. Mike says, one thing about Softflex wire is it's woven, so the weave tightens and lengthens. So make bracelets a little tighter to start. Open this up. Mike was actually the inventor of Softflex beading wire. He and Scott, the other owner, created the specs for our particular brand of beading wire. And now it comes in tons of different colors and diameters and even different constructions too. So he's got a lot of great knowledge about the beading wire. It's always a nice thing when he pops on here. Plus he can see what a good job I'm doing, right? Always nice to have your boss hang out. Okay, so I've got my 2x2 millimeter crimp tube on the wire. I'm going to go ahead and crimp it. Now we've always said to leave a little bit of room, a little bit of breathing space just to keep your flexibility, but you definitely want to pull it a little tighter too. Okay, so I got my wires, and let's see, what do I want to do to make, I really like the idea of using this guy. So let me think about that. Let's do a super duo at the top to start, since that's how we started our last design. And then I'm thinking about, I don't want to make these so long that nobody wants to wear them, but I do like a long earring. Let's see, Danielle says, I usually use 7 strands, so just wondering what makes it better. So I wanted to try it, but it is twice the price, so I wanted to know what makes it better. That's a fantastic question, Danielle. And the reason why I do so many of these videos, Softflex is so flexible and so strong. You can actually tie it, and I'll do a quick demonstration. You can actually tie Softflex in a tight knot and pull it as tight as you can, and you will not lose any strength or durability where it's knotted. Now, if you were to take like a copper hanger or a copper piece of wire and just bend it back and forth, eventually it snaps and breaks. Even though this is a stainless steel wire, because of the construction of this wire and the quality of the materials, it will actually, it can actually be kinked and knotted and not lose any strength or durability. And we've tested this in break strength tests. So we know that it's just as strong where it's knotted as it is where it's not knotted. So that's one big difference between this product and others, but also it's very kink resistant. I mean, you really have to like really try to kink it. Otherwise, it will just relax back out and look really beautiful. So those are some of the biggest differences with Softflex and a 7-strand. This is a 49-strand construction that I'm using here. So it's 7 by 7 strands, and that really makes it very strong, 26-pound break strength, but also very flexible and easy to use. So that kind of gives you a little bit more information, I think. Sue says the drape and the flexibility are the key difference. Yes, I would totally agree with that, but also the strength. The long-term strength is also a big difference in this particular product. Sharon says you can tie a knot in soft flex around the handle of an 8-pound cast iron pan, and the knot will hold the pan when you pick it up. Did you try that, Sharon? Rochelle says Danielle, also stronger and more durable in larger beads and rougher cuts. Yes, very true. Yeah, the more abrasive a bead is, because beads just sort of spin on the wire, and especially when it's a bracelet and it's rolling up and down your arm, they just spin and they cut and cut and cut. And you really have to have a good quality beading wire underneath if you want your design to last a really long time. We do carry 7-strand product. It's called EconoFlex, but we consider it more of a crafting product, something that you would make like a beaded curtain with, or a lampshade, something that's not really wearable. But when you start getting into the wearable stuff, it's really important to have a better quality beading wire. Sharon said, I just saw Sherry Henry do it on TV. Oh, that's so funny. Did she really? That's hilarious. I'll have to ask her about that. Sue says, I use 49 strand exclusively, and yes, it's stronger for metal and heavy beads. I've never had one tear apart, but other beading wire she has. Good to know. All right, so we've got this so far for our earring. I don't think I'm gonna make these guys into this particular earring, but maybe I can make one more before I jump out of here. I got so caught up. I get so excited. I've worked for Softflex for 19 years. You'd think I would be over talking about Softflex beading wire, but I get so excited to talk about it because it is such a good product. And I feel like it's important for those of you that are spending time making jewelry out there to put your jewelry on a good quality product like Softflex so it's going to last forever and ever, because jewelry is a work of art. Even though people still sort of look at it as a craft, it is art, and it's important that it can last for as long as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and crimp. I don't know, I didn't catch Danielle's question. Where is the best place to buy? Oh, you can buy it online from all sorts of different retailers. In fact, you can buy it from Stateside Bead Supply, and if it's your first order, you can even use this coupon code. There's lots of places to buy it. And if it's a specialty color, you can even get it from us directly. Okay, so we've got our, just Google Softflex wire and you'll find lots of options out there for ordering it online. Okay, so we've got, and like I said, Stateside's a great option. We've got this so far. I think I'm going to do my fun little sort of asymmetrical cut at the bottom where I trim one a little shorter than the other. I've been doing that a lot lately, but I think it turns out so cute. I love it. Okay, so there's my earring. I'm going to make one more. I'm going to attempt to make one more earring, and then I got to hop off here and actually do my real day job. Unfortunately, because this is way more fun. But I've got to do my other stuff too. Okay, so I'm going to do one more earring in sort of a similar vein to that last one. I'm going to take my medium Softflex and my bone color with my copper crimp, and I'll finish the second earring off air, and then I will post a picture of it in our VIB Facebook group. So make sure you go join if you want to see what the final product looks like. Thanks, guys. I see a lot of love the earring. Sue says the boss is watching. I have the best bosses ever, and they know everything I think. They expect us to be very vocal, so they know I'd rather be beading than doing my day job, for sure. Okay, so I've got my wires side by side inside my crimp tube. Again, very important when you're attaching to an ear wire like this. We're going to slide in our magical crimping pliers, centering that crimp tube, and then compressing many times around it. These crimping pliers only work with the 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes, and you need a good quality crimp tube. We have them in copper, gold filled, and sterling silver. Okay. Mike says, yes, I do. He knows. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to try these, I'm going to try this crystal thing again, where I did one of each color. And then I wanted to try these guys. I think these little spacer bars are super cool. I want to see how they would work. I thought that was going to turn out better. When I have my beads down here, will I like this? I don't know. I don't think I will. Not with that. What we could do, though, is do like a connector bar. So I'm going to go ahead and clip one of these wires. So I've just got a single strand coming off of here. And then I'm going to take one of these little copper O beads, one of these beautiful crystals, and another little copper O bead. I'm going to get a crimp tube. And I'm going to attach to this spacer bar and go back into my crimp tube. And I'll go ahead and pull this fairly tight, but I want to leave enough room that this can sort of move around and look nice. I love how this is going to show at the front of the earring. That's going to look really cool. So again, you want to straighten your wires to the best of your ability. And this is tricky because you definitely really want to get that crimp tube dead center inside your crimping pliers too. So I'm dead center in the crimping pliers. I'm going to compress and compress and go around it a bunch to tighten it down into a little bead. And then I can take my cutters and slide them in. There we go. So then I've got the beginning, and now I can do some sort of dangle at the bottom. Maybe one of these at the bottom would be kind of fun. So I'm going to take another piece of bone wire, bone softflex, and then I'm going to take my crimp tube, go back in, go, and we've got similar on both sides so that it looks nice together. Straighten out your wires and crimp. Lots and lots, go around it lots. So you get the two edges of that crimp tube really cinched down into the nylon coating of the wire. Now I've got my connection, and I can go ahead and string my impression jasper. And I just need a crimp tube to finish this off at the bottom. Got my crimp tube on the wire. I'm going to back in even though I don't need to, you know, for the actual look of the design, but it's nice to crimp into 2 strands of soft flex. And this is kind of a nice, easy way to get 2 strands inside of there. And then I can go ahead and crimp, and then I'll just cut off my extra wire on both ends of the crimp. If you don't have a lot of extra, you can always just cut what I call a scrap piece of wire and slide that in there. You want to get your cutter in as close to that crimp as possible. You can fidget with it till you get it real close, right up to the crimp. There you go. And we have a second little pair of earrings that are kind of showing off that cool little spacer bar as a connector. So what a fun kit. So I got this kit today from Stateside Bead Supply. It's called the Labyrinth Necklace Kit. You can find it on their website, which is statebeadsupply.com. And just to give you an idea, this is what they actually give you instructions for making. It's a Y-shaped necklace using the impression jasper and then all the copper. And I made a beautiful, really fun asymmetrical bracelet. And then I made 2 different earrings, and I still have a ton of beads left. So I know it's always kind of fun to see what one designer might make with it versus what another designer will make. And you can definitely see that I made something very different than what they made. But just as nice. Oh, this is right in my face. Ah, hi guys. Okay, so couple things to note. Tomorrow's the live sale. I've got tons and tons of items. I'm going to go through as many of them as I can before I lose my mind because it is 265 items or something that they picked. So we've got a ton to go through. And then July 18th, next week, I'm going to be doing a demonstration of our knitting spools and how you can knit with soft flex beading wire. So that'll be a really fun and kind of unusual video because we haven't done that in quite a while. It's one of my favorite tools that we sell, so I'm excited to kind of revisit it. And then we've got Neon Nights coming up the next week. Nilay's videos on July 24th on the Silver Silk page, and then my video will be here at the Facebook page on July 25th. So we got a ton of stuff coming up, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys each and every week. And in the meantime, keep posting your beautiful work in our VIB Softflex Studio page. It's so fun to see what you guys are making, especially with like the beads from the live sale or the kits. You know, we just see bags of beads as we send them out, so it's fun to see where they end up. And I think everyone's really enjoying that page and being able to just get a peek into what everyone's making with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys there day in and day out as well. And it's such a joy to be able to join you there. So definitely go check out Stateside Bead Supply. They are linked at the top of this video. You can click on that and then like their Facebook page. And they are all over the place. They have great YouTube videos, they have Instagram, they have Twitter, they have Pinterest, so lots of different options. If you go to their website, and I think it was at the bottom, you could find all their social media icons and click through and join all their various sites to see what they're up to. But I would definitely join their Facebook and their YouTube because they've got some great YouTube videos happening. So great seeing all of you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I got to go rest my voice. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.